I got the special effects in the building. You know what I'm saying? Come rising up from the flow, mysterious, like all up in your atmosphere. What's up, everybody? Good to have you along with me, riding on this journey. I am King A.D.S. I the Shadow, A.D.S. Out here doing my thing, on here with another stream, another episode, another segment, whichever way you want to call it. Just love to connect with you and sticking on these music topics and stuff like that. I want to continue to go forward with that and just express some points of view or angles from experience, and I definitely have been in the category of being an independent artist for most of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't say that I haven't been influenced by some of the industry, type of models of things, but a lot of the time it's kind of a weird kind of dynamic. But I still ended up in the entertainment, in the independent lane of things. And I'm not saying it like it's bad. I love it because I got my freedom, can say what I need to say, do what I need to do. And hopefully I'll be able to intermingle and, mix that with a good formula or a balance, along the way, if need be. But one of the topics I wanted to touch on right now was a good question that comes up from people from time to time is pay to play or no, right? And I would say if you have like a good following that's devout, to you already, and you're fortunate enough to have that, and it translates to whether you do local shows or, stuff like that, like, and it always works out. I'd say it's not as important, but there's certain pay to play notes for an up and comer that would be beneficial is when you can open up for a good headliner that's well known or still has a strong following. And you may not think that that matters sometimes, but it's nice for your listeners or your friends, family, or fans to see you play and hold your own on the same stage with these headliners. So it's kind of like they can speak up on you, you know what I mean, in that sense. So you got to give them more. And plus, they may enjoy the artist that you can open up for too, and maybe even you do. But even to show your showcase your talent on the same stage, same arena is a big thing, for you to do for your audience, so they can see the caliber of artist that you are and that you respectfully deserve to be in the place that you're at. Now, the standards for selling shows and the promotional companies that you work with are a big important thing. There's a lot of bad promoters. They're not major promoters, but they have some inside connections, but they also are convoluted in the way that they like to put things together. It's more the benefit of that shady promoter to pocket the money while the acts get screwed. And that's where you have, like, I'm not, I'm just sharing this stuff from experience, and I've done it, you know what I mean? But when you have too many acts on a note and each act is only going to get 8 minutes or something like that, sometimes that works. Depends on where you're at and who's doing it, you know what I mean? But a lot of the times, in order for audiences to get really acquainted with you, you're going to have at least, I don't know, say 15 minutes. You know what I mean? At least 15 minutes, maybe a half hour if you really got it going on. You know what I mean? Like a full set. But that engagement with the audience is very important, and to show that you have the chops and the ability to go the distance, just like some of the favorite artists that were admired, even you could have, even that you admire. You know what I mean? But to be showcased in that same arena, same stage, same lights, same microphones, doing your thing, you know what I mean? But the promoters, you have to be very careful with the promoters, you know what I mean? If they're a major promoter, they have more opportunities actually for the artist, the DIY type of artist, the independent artist, you know what I mean? There's many aspects that you can approach them from. Now, initially, when you sell a note, I would say that, like, maybe you should shoot more modestly and sell a note that makes more sense as far as like the tier of the act. So that way you're not going to be in hand over fist when it comes to turning in money for it, because you do pay for your slot by way of sales, which is good for your promotions because you have something to sell, which is worth something versus nothing. And it's nice to do free shows, but it's also nice to treat your audience to a bigger event. And this is where we're going to see more of the pay to come and enjoy the time, because we're paying for the whole experience and everything like that. So, you know, so that is a good treat for your audience, And if you can't sell a show, you might have to buy the tickets yourself and give the tickets away. Or maybe you don't have maybe you're not from here and you're transplant, but you don't have a big following, you don't have a support system. What you would have to be prepared to do is cover the cost of the note, if this means that much to you to be on that stage. So that's one of the aspects as well. But preferably, it'd be nice for you to build a rapport with your support system or circle, or people that are interested in what you do, to come out and put forward a good foot to support and come on out. And it's nice to have an actual ticket that's worth having to go see a great show. You know what I mean? So we're able to accommodate that as well. You know what I mean? Which is really nice. After you do business with a major show promoter like that, I would say they'll be willing to, if you do well, you know what I mean? They'll be willing to give you more shots. If they like what you do as well, you have good energy, you have good rapport, you communicate well, all those kind of things. Then there's also possibilities of things like free shows, like freebies. They do giveaway shows where you can just hand these tickets out, you know what I mean? And get people to come on in to try to strengthen the buzz. So the next show that you do with the major promoter, you have a better chance of bringing people out, for your overall tally of people that show up. So these are ways that you can kind of maneuver with these major show promoters if you're going to pay to play. You know what I mean? And these are things you should ask about if you're going to pay to play, because after all, your name and pocket is on the hook for the note. So you want to get the best that you can out of that scenario. You know what I mean? So don't pass anything up, And also, you have option to have the facility or the promoter contact like media outlets and things like that, so that way you can have a publication like LA Weekly or OC Weekly or IE Weekly or whatever come out and cover the event, and be accommodated by you, of course, and maybe the promotions or the the promoter, the promotions company, show production company, stuff like that, or the facility, you know what I mean, or all in unison. But nevertheless, just that you can draw more attention to what you're doing. But you'll probably have to pay a little bit to do that, but that's okay, because it's a worthy investment that kind of covers a lot of different avenues all in the same shot. So you have a performance, you're attracting your audience, you're giving them something that they like already, and you're adding yourself to it. You're also taking advantage of that situation, so that situation is then recorded and is useful material for you, so people that don't know you can also see what type of scenarios that you were able to work out and what you've done over time. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So when you make things like EPKs and things like that, you can also include clips of interviews and reviews and show footage and things like that. And it's really valuable to have. It's really awesome edge to have. And so I would say, and the networking ability as well, like the talent that will be there, usually the caliber of people who take their music career seriously in order for them to commit to a pay note. You know what I mean? So yeah, and so the networking factor is great. You might even meet the manager, tour manager, um, for another artist, or the artist themselves, and maybe spark a relationship from there. You just never know. That doesn't always happen, but just saying, it's more possible in that aspect than the others. Other shows are great. There's a lot of great, amazing legends and legendary type talents and people who still are underground and still do their thing, mainly amongst the vein of the people and the cult following, which I also think is awesome. I would definitely recommend that people, if you have an avenue like that, definitely use that. But also look to branch out if you want to touch more, expand your audience into different realms and things like that, and maybe the facilities that you'll be able to have access to give an overall experience to your audience that they can enjoy. and talk about maybe for years to come, you know what I mean? And maybe you get some cool pictures when you're doing it. Not saying it can't happen in the other scenarios, it does. But here is milestones that you can create and how to use it though for yourself and your own benefit. So while you're paying out, make sure that it benefits you when you're doing that. And whatever that you can sell on the note, you know, and that's why I say when you start taking modest note, you know what I mean? So whether you have to pay out directly or, but if you can make past the quota mark, the rest of the money is collection off the top. And you hoping to sell a product to the mass public, eventually will have to cross this bridge of how do you do things that's worth monetary value and how do you become compensated to make a living. And I feel like this is kind of a step on the way. You know what I mean? It's a step on the way. And it really can boost your image to your audience and show them that the caliber that you're at, that you can swing with the best of them. And that's really what they deserve to see. And you deserve to have that recognition, that realization up there when you're in your purpose and you're in your passion and you shine through, and that's what you're put here to do. And you make sure that everybody knows that. And so, yeah, man, just wanted to share that real quick about pay to play notes, yes or no. That's your choice. You do what you want. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with one method over the other. Just that when it comes to this topic or subject, there's a way. I do feel there's a way to manipulate it. You know, use it to your advantage, so that way it benefits you and doesn't hurt you. You know, and to have a great relationships with major show promoters. There's never anything wrong with that. You know what I mean? They can call you with great opportunities that you otherwise maybe wouldn't get. If you're already on an inside loop and you have those kind of things, you're mingled with these type of caliber of people, that's great too. You know, I definitely do have some fam out there that are just phenomenal, just amazing people, hands down, as a talent and a person. And I'm thankful for them. And in any opportunities that I'm able to participate in that they throw my way, I definitely will be there for. But nevertheless, when you're out there and you're making your own and you just got to make it happen and use all the tools at your disposal, there you go. Pay to play, I say it's up to you. I don't see anything wrong with it as long as it's the right scenario and you're at the right point in your career to be doing it. You know, later on, like, you know, more indoctrinated type of deal where you're well known already and you kind of mingled with that talent, then, you know, that shifts things too. But nevertheless, to branch out, keep going and do something new, absolutely. You know, you can definitely do that. And so I hope that's helpful. Be resourceful, be mindful, be the person before you walk through the door type jam, you know what I mean? And see you on the next one. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, come along, check out all the tunes, all the good vibes, and let me know what's going on so I can shout you out as well and I can check out what you got going on. And definitely until the next one, peace.